Everyone, today I'll be reviewing new Liam Neeson movie just dropped on Netflix. It's called Honest Thief, starring Liam Neeson, Kate Walsh, Joy Courtney, Jeffrey Donovan, Anthony Ramos, and this movie is directed by Mark William. So this movie came out in theater in 2021 during the pandemic, and this movie did make decent amount of money. So recently when I saw Netflix purchase the right for this movie on their platform, I was like, oh, that's good. Finally, I can see this movie. Because I had planned to see this movie. Before I give you my opinion or review on this movie, I must say, I'm a huge fan of Liam Neeson. I have never missed any of his movies. I know all of his movie, how they are, how the plot line goes everywhere, how the action goes. So I have idea about all of his movie. But still, I still enjoyed this movie despite all the it might not be perfect, this movie. When I said the perfect, I mean like the plot. It's always not always perfect. Some of the things is very doesn't make sense. And however, the acting from all the cast in this movie, I thought they gave really good performance from all of them. Even Joy Courtney, he was really good in this movie, especially he was playing bad guy. It's not spoiler, I have seen it in trailer. If you have not seen it, yeah, so he plays a bad guy here in this movie, and he was seamlessly, he just got into the character and he played this bad guy and you believe him. Of course, Liam Neeson, he's absolutely amazing in this movie, like in his any other action movie. But recently I have seen one of his movies called Cold Pursuit. It's maybe it's on Netflix or not. That movie wasn't that good, honestly. But this one is better than that one. The reason this movie worked for me is whenever I'm watching Liam Neeson movie in my head, or like I'm probably pretty sure most people think like that. Whenever you are watching his movie, you are thinking he has a particular sets of skill. You're thinking that in your head. So when he used those in his every movie, you feel like, oh, that makes sense. Because instantly it makes sense for us audience, because that's how we are picturing him. So in this movie, of course, he does have particular sets of skill when he uses his skill to get justice for the things that happened to him in this movie. I was really like, I enjoyed all of those scenes. They are really, whenever he uses his skill, it's so entertaining to watch. Even in this movie, I was like, how many times I've seen him using his particular sets of skill, and yet I believe him every time. And so in this movie, he used to be in Marine. And he had particular things he was doing that, and like when these two FBI agent, like when they come and try to take the money, he was offering them in return. All he wanted to get like is come clean, get reduced sentence and visitation from his girlfriend. That's all he wanted from this two FBI agent, but they're like, no. So this is where I feel like this plot didn't make sense. So I'm going to be now going into a little bit spoiler here. So if you don't want to hear, you could tune out of this movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it's worth checking it out, especially on Netflix. It's free. It's not like you're paying anything. So when this two FBI agent shows up to his like his hotel room, and he gave them like the money, 3 million money, and like when they gets it and they try to hide this money, I feel like nobody was like, it's not realistic. Like nobody else wasn't watching over them, and it was like these two. That's not how it worked, right? In real life, these two agents just went there and took the money, and nobody like, and especially in the biggest thing in this movie is this guy, when he says, he comes out and says like he's in and out bandit in this movie, and these cops, they just don't believe him. At least shouldn't they be investigate him? Like that's plot line I found is like, didn't make sense for me, especially that's not how it's gonna be in real life, I suppose. As I was saying, I really like all these actors, they were good in this movie. Just this plot lines, I feel like, especially the FBI agent drama, I often feel like it's not very realistic. That means that in this movie, Anthony Ramos' character, he's gonna be in The Heights, the biggest movie probably. Like he's gonna be big star from that movie. So he was in this movie. His character was interesting. He was trying to tell Jai Courtney's character like, what we are doing is not right, stop it. So I enjoyed his character. All the other cops, they were like, you know, their point of view where makes sense. It's just the Jai Courtney's character, I feel like, why he's going like this so crazy. Like, he just saw this money and he lost his mind. He's like, I need this money. Like, he just gave up all his job and everything he was once stood for, I suppose. So his character, I wish we got a little bit backstory. Jai Courtney's character, you know what I mean? Like, I wish we had a little bit backstory of them. If we did get that, I think this movie could have been really great for me. Otherwise, this movie was really well directed. Overall, it's very well done. I had good time watching it still. I just had a little hard time believing all this scene. Otherwise, I had fun watching this movie. Check it out if you have time this weekend. That was my thought on this movie. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.